Good day, everyone. Today's chat is with Shawn Roberts. I've got an entire podcast coming, but I didn't want to wait. Many of you want to know what the heck happened last weekend, so I got him on the horn and we talked. But quickly, I want to say welcome to the newest Patreon member, Micah. Micah, welcome aboard. He said he's been a fan for a while. Thank you so much for hopping on the Patreon train. You too can do that. Hit the links below. Find out how you can support this channel, whether you're a podcast fan, a video fan, all the stuff we do on the socials. Join the Patreon. Be a part of it. Feel good. What am I trying to say? Feel good. That's what I'm trying to say. Feel good. Let's get to the interview with Shawn. Away we go. Now we get to the fun part, Shawn. Why did you reach out to me yesterday?
So I think offended some people, and I say we because you're the one that posted it.
Right, but I did say, I said, how'd it go? You told me. And I said, okay, would you like to say that on the record? Because people have been asking me. You could have said, Matt, no, and I wouldn't have.
Look, we're still in this together, Matt.
Okay.
We offended some people, all right?
Okay.
And I think there was some that was taken out of context, and that's kind of what I wanted to clear up. The reason I dropped out of the race wasn't just because I hate burpees. I do hate burpees. I did all 30 of those burpees, by the way, as much as I hated them. It was because like 8-9 hours before that race, I was at a wedding for a person who was very important to me. And, had a drink, one drink, you'd have toast, turns into 8 drinks. Next thing you know, shirt's off, you got a cigar in your hand and you're really rocking on the dance floor. You know what I mean? Like it's just one thing leads to another, right? Like you're at a wedding. I don't know. So I wasn't acting responsibly at the wedding. I probably had a little bit too much drink, and it was just. So then drove through the night, 2 dogs in the car. I got a couple hours of sleep in the car. Show up to the race. I'm exhausted, terrible, hungover. I'm burping up alcohol, the whole thing. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna give this a go, see what I got. First mile and a half, I said I'm gonna go out slow. Or first 2 miles, I said I was going to go out slow before I was going to make my move if I had it. The whole first mile and a half, I was still burping up alcohol.
Oh my goodness.
But I was doing okay. By about 2 miles, I started moving up, and I was surprising myself. I was I didn't know I had this. So I'm moving up. I got into about 7th place, I believe. That could be wrong. It could have been 8th. I don't think it was 9th, and I don't think it was 6th. I think it was 7th, could have been 8th. And I caught a glimpse of a pack. I think it was 4 guys, could have been 5. And I was like, okay, that's the podium pack. I'm catching them. I'm right there. They're a half mile of racing away before I catch them. I get to the
ladies and gentlemen, he is making physical signs, which I think is beater.
Beater, yeah. So I do the whole obstacle. I get to the last monkey bar, and I'm just dismounting, and
right.
Hand comes out, and I just felt like my hand's just ½ inch short.
Right. You whiffed the bell, as we say.
Yeah, I think it happens to people all the time.
Yes,
I'm not special. it just happened to me. So I immediately go down, and I'm there was a lot of deflation. Because I was man, I really wanted to have a good race. I just went out and ran these mountains with these people. And I came to Asheville because they said it was flat. And I was I'm going to get my revenge out here, right? And I missed that bell. And I looked over at the official. And they're 30 burpees. Went and did all 30 burpees. And I watched half the field pass me.
Right.
Which, to be fair, my burpees, my chest hit the ground and then my hands went above my head. It took 3 minutes for me to do those burpees.
Right.
I was not going fast.
Right.
And I was just so deflated. And, I'm remembering now, oh man, I'm exhausted and hungover. I'm I'm going to go home and get some sleep. So I just stopped. It wasn't like I was just oh man, burpees are terrible. I'm quitting this race. It was no, I'm hungover. I'm exhausted. The race is over. They beat me, right? I lost the race.
But was it though? I think that's the question I have is we don't know what's going to happen. and other people fail other things. Other people get lost. A lot
I,
of things change. You're faster than a lot of those folks. So I'm not saying 100% you did the wrong thing. I'm just saying that is a thing that happens in sports. We don't know what's going to happen if we leave the race.
so for sure, that's correct. But also, you got to keep in mind, like, I had just been deflated, and like I said, I'm hungover and exhausted. So I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about now's a good time to get some sleep.
Right.
And also, I think I looked at the results. Nobody in like nobody in the top 10 failed an obstacle, and they were all within like a 4 minute or less spread. So it's like
Right. But we don't know that until the race is over, though.
You don't. But as it turned out, if you failed an obstacle, I think only one person, VJ, who like had a really good race, I think he's the only person who could have failed an obstacle and been in the top 10. And so it's like, yeah, I guess I could have run for 12th, 15th place, or I could have gone home and gotten some sleep after staying up all night.
Right. I mean, I guess another thing I thought about was like racing the next day, like get some revenge, get some more practice on obstacles, get some more practice against a couple of those guys.
So I was planning on racing the next day. But yeah, that was like after I did end up getting some rest, that's when I like was talking to you, and I was like, probably shouldn't have said what I should have said. It was definitely what I felt, because I'd been hating burpees forever, and I was just like, to me, I was like trying out Spartan. I didn't really. It was like, there's a lot of other companies, but this is the one I want to do because this is where the competition is. I tried it out, and it was just like, I don't really like it. It's like, you go to McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. I've tried McDonald's 4 times. I don't like McDonald's. I'm gonna go to Burger King and Wendy's. Right? Like, to me, that's what I thought the decision I was making was. Like, yeah, I don't like this race. I don't like the rules of it. I don't like the setup. So I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not having fun. Again, I had a full athletic career before this, so this career is for fun. Like, be competitive and have a good time. If I'm not having a good time, I don't think there's a reason for me to be able to.
I put Burger King number one, by the way, if we're talking burgers. McDonald's fries. How about you?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't eat fast food ever.
Well, I don't eat any of that shit either, but I'm saying if I had to, right? Like once in a blue moon, if I had to, Burger King has the best burger. I ate it when I was younger, and McDonald's makes the best fries.
I literally cannot comment on this because the last time I had those things was high school.
Okay. It wasn't that long ago, but okay. All right. So now we have to clear a couple things up, okay? Because things are being said, and it is my job.
Yeah. According to my DMs, a lot of things are being said.
Well, let's get to that. Are people? What are people messaging you? Are they being mean? Are they being accommodating?
I think people. You could say the word mean, but I think that it's more people are frustrated with me, because it was a snippet, right? Like you posted. You can only. I don't even how do stories work. You can see them for 5 seconds. Like they probably couldn't even read all the text in the story. I don't know how it works. But they see this like small snippet and it's like, oh man, this guy, a lot of feelings come up because they love Spartan, which they can, right? It's just like, that's the stuff that works for them. It didn't work for me. And so, like people like, they were just disagreeing with me. But the only thing that really bothered me, and I think that what made me eventually say like, all right, Matt, even though I said I was never going to talk to you on the camera, we had to discuss, is when there was some like false things said, right? Like I called somebody on a podcast once because he said some things that were just incorrect about me. I care about accuracy. And so like there was things that were said that were just like, that's not true. And mainly it's like that I wasn't near, like I was nowhere near the race. They were like, oh, you had no chance. He wasn't like in the race. And it's like, I have no way of proving where I was in the race, but I can just tell you, I saw a pack of 4 or 5 guys. I think Atkins, Kempson, Woods. I don't know who was in it, and I thought I was going to catch him. And then the other one was that I failed the obstacle. Like I didn't even come close on it. again, I can't prove it, but all I can tell you is I felt it was like I was doing a layup at the end, and I just blew the layup, right? Like my fingers just like missed the graze. And so like those were the two main things. I'm like, well, if you're gonna, dislike me, that's fine. If you're gonna have opinions about me, but like let's keep the opinions based on truth.
Okay, so now I have to mention two other things. One is less comfortable than the other, but we're here to set the record straight. So first of all, did you try to jump on the camera cart and say, "Can y'all take me to the bottom?" after you failed the obstacle, or after you decided you weren't going to race anymore?
I had no idea that was a camera cart.
Okay.
So I guess that might be true. I definitely tried to jump on a cart, not like physically jump on, like metaphorically, like, hey man, can I get a ride? I didn't like run up to it and try and like, but a cart was coming by and I was like, hey, yeah, I'm done.
And then what happened? They said you can't get on?
Yeah. And so I jogged up to about another 200 meters and they got me another cart.
Okay.
I didn't even know. Nobody mentioned that one to me. But yeah, that one's definitely my bad. If I didn't realize it was a camera cart or anything. I had no idea. I thought it was just like another kind of when I got lost in Montana,
right.
And they came and got a cart for me.
Right.
I thought it was that kind of same thing. I had no idea.
Thank you so much for watching. As I said, I've got more from Shawn in a complete podcast that will be coming soon. In the meantime, subscribe to this channel right now. We're well on our way to 5,000 followers, subscriber thing, whatever. 5,000. That seems like a cool number to get to, right? We're 4 and change now. Hit subscribe. Also, support this channel by going to the Patreon. Patreon is a way for you to support content creators like myself and feel good about yourself while doing it. We've got some really fun stuff in there. Check us out. Links below. A lot more content to come. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to the people watching this video right now. Sophia, Gary, Theo, Chrissy, Britt, Bethany, all of the super honks that have been down with ORM for the last few years, really supporting everything that I put out. I love you guys. It means the world that you watch all this stuff, that you're always commenting. Michael Mitchell, who you may have met this past weekend. Ricky, there's just so many. Gary, who's Gary? So thank you so much, all of you. I love you. I miss you. I mean it. I have got to run.